Welcome to Philosophy 307, Philosophy of Law. This is going to be one of the most exciting and useful classes you'll have in your college career. That's the case for at least two reasons. First, the subject matter. You're going to learn to think philosophically about topics in the law. That's a subject that's probably going to come up in your future career, your personal life, and when you're dealing with routine politics, like going to vote. So, it's both interesting in itself and it's applicable to life. The second reason that it's such an exciting class is because of the mix of people who take the class. In this class, I typically get a good number of pre-law students, criminal justice majors, philosophy majors, and people from a scattering of other disciplines. All of them bring different perspectives to bear on the subject material, which makes our discussions especially productive. I'm not going to say much more about the subject of the class because I go over that in the material under the tab Introduction. For now, I want to give you a tour of our website for the course and of what you'll do in a typical week. So let's take a look at our Blackboard site. That is the primary place where we will interact in the course. I'm assuming that everyone knows basically how to use Blackboard, so I'm going to show you the particular features of how I set up our Blackboard site. When you come in, you'll typically land on something like the Announcements page. Now, there's a number of pieces of introductory material here. Most of that is self-explanatory, so I want to go immediately into what you're going to do in a typical week in this course. The material for each week is contained in the relevant unit folder. Those folders can be found by going over to the left-hand menu, the kind of burgundy menu, and looking at the folder for the unit. So let's take Unit 4 as an example. Click on that link, and then you'll see first a statement of the learning objectives, unit materials, and the assignments for the week. So what would you do in a typical week? Well, first you take a quick look at what the topic is and what the learning objectives are, and then you'll do the readings. Most of the readings will be from your textbook, so I'll simply list the chapter in the textbook. But sometimes I pull from other sources, and those will almost always be available in these unit folders. For example, the first reading for week 4 is a short clip from chapter 1 of Mills on Liberty. That's public domain, so I've got a PDF for you, and the link is right here. Sometimes there will be a link to an external website or to the library's course reserves. So you can find the materials here. If it's to an external website, you want to pay close attention to one thing. Sometimes I will say read only these sections. So make sure you pay close attention to those details so you don't end up reading 5 chapters or 10 websites when you are only required to read a few paragraphs. After you've done the readings, then you should go on to the online presentations. The links to the online presentations will be below the readings in the folder. All of that should be done by Wednesday. Why Wednesday? Well, first of all, because we have to have a deadline. Second, because that allows us time to do other things. And third, because there's a key deadline every Wednesday, the reading quiz for the week. So the reading quiz for the week needs to be done by midnight on Wednesday. Once you've done that, I'm giving you a day to process the information and to make your first discussion post. Let me show you where you make the discussion posts. Over on this menu to the left, you can click on Groups. It will take you to a list of the groups. In your case, just one will appear. That's your discussion group for the course. And click on the name of your group. Let's say you're in discussion group 1. This page will pull up. You look under Group Tools, Group Discussion Board, and you'll see a number of forums. Then you go to the forum for the week. In this case, it's week 4, but let's take a look at week 1. You can see I already have some suggested topics. So each of these has a little prompt, some topic you might want to discuss. You can also, of course, create your own thread if you think there's an important topic that wasn't covered in any of my suggestions. There's a lot more detail about what goes into the discussion posts in a document in assignments and examinations. I'll get to that in a moment. For now, let me go back to Unit 4. You'll notice, first discussion post has to be done by midnight on Thursday. After midnight on Thursday, you're ready to make your second discussion post, and that should be made by 12:01 a.m. on Friday through midnight on Sunday. So note, you're required to do at least 2 discussion posts a week, and one of them must be done before midnight on Thursday, and one of them must be done after midnight on Thursday, but before midnight on Sunday. Of course, you may do as many posts as you want. In fact, I encourage you to start early, work ahead, and get the conversation going. And I encourage you to make as many replies as you want to other people's comments. But there's an important thing here. I will grade you based on your best post from the first half of the week, before Thursday, and your best post from the second half of the week, that is, after Thursday. So you need to go on at least once before Thursday and at least once after Thursday. But beyond that, you may post as much as you like, and I encourage you to be as active as you can in these conversations. That is the activities for a typical week. Let me say something about this introductory week. During the introductory period, you should do the following. You need to make a post on your group discussion board under introductions where you introduce yourself. And you need to reply to at least one other person's introduction. You should also take the course quiz. The course quiz will cover all of the stuff that is up here, down to assignments and examinations, and one item from the assignments and examinations folder, that is the guide to discussion board posts. So make sure that you take that quiz, course quiz, by the deadline. There's also a reading quiz for the first week, right, or for the introductory material that will be in the introduction, under the introduction tab. So those are the assignments, readings, etc. Now let me point out a couple of other important things on the Blackboard site. First, as I've mentioned, there's a link for the groups. Second, assignments and examinations contain some helpful material. In particular, I have study questions for the main readings for the course. I'd encourage you to download that document right away and use those questions to help guide you through the readings as you do them, and also to prepare for the midterm and the final. I also have the guide to discussion board posts, which explains how I grade them, what kind of things I expect you to say, etc. And the midterm study guide. Okay? That's a study guide for the midterm. And when the time comes, I'll also have a study guide for the final exam. My office hours are posted under the syllabus. I have 2 types of office hours, purely online and in my office / online. With the latter, I'll sit in my office, but I'll have my computer on so that you can also contact me online. You can access the online office hours, including the in-person / online office hours, by going to the tab Google Hangout. Click on this, and it will get you to the appropriate site. Okay, I'm going to block that for now. You'll need to make it possible. It will ask you to sign in if you have not done so with your ASU ID, and then it will ask you to join the conversation. So that is how you get to the Google Hangout. You get to the Google Hangout through this link. I'd recommend that you go ahead and try that right away for the following reason. You might need to install the Google Hangout tool. Okay, and so I recommend you do that now, get that over with, and so that you're ready to go straight into the office hours whenever you want to do so. Also note that if I have study sessions for the exams, those will be in the Google Hangouts as well. Finally, there is an announcements tab. I will regularly put announcements about important things for the week. If there's any changes, they will go here, as well as to your email, etc. In addition, I should say a note about email. The best way to email me is to go to email, single select users, and then select my name. Or go to your ASU account and send something to my ASU account. Now note something important here. I can only discuss things like grades or other personal matters from my email account to your email account. That is, from my ASU email account to your ASU email account. I cannot send out information about grades or any other personal matters to anything but your ASU email account. So if you send something from your Google or Yahoo account, there's going to be a delay because I'm going to have to say, I'm sorry, I can't discuss that here. You'll have to email me back from the ASU account. So that is our tour of our Blackboard site. If you have any general questions about the Blackboard site, the course, etc., here's what I'd like you to do. Go to this little tab that says Hallway Conversations. First, look to see if anyone else has asked the same question and it's been answered. If not, post your question here. If you have the question, chances are someone else does too. I should get back to you soon. If you don't hear from me in, say, 36 hours, go ahead and send me an email. Again, welcome to Philosophy 307. I think we're going to have a great semester, and I look forward to discussing things with you online.